Jerry Trimble.
Yeah, Jerry Trimble was a bad motherfucker.
Golden Boy. That's what they call Atlanta's Jerry Trimble.
He hails from Vancouver, British Columbia. Manny, the school teacher, Sobral. Manny Sobral.
I really like this card. That was good.
Yeah, I thought it was a good card. I think, in an outdoor stadium like they had it, looked pretty cool, eh?
Mm-hmm, yeah. It must have been nice to fight outdoors, too.
Yeah.
Instead of like inside of an arena with like AC or anything like that.
Yeah, made it good for the old COVID, right? Doesn't stay anywhere, it just gets to float around.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Did you so you caught some of the Derek Chisora versus Joseph Parker?
I just saw the highlights of that fight, and I saw Chisora knocking Chris Parker down kind of in a weird way in the first round, and then then it showed Parker coming back, and from what the highlights that they're showing, it was a very close fight, a very close match. So, it's that Chisora is a weird guy though, because he always sort of seems to tire out at the opportune times. He can't seem to hold his momentum all the time, right? So, and then it allows the other guy to come back, and I think that's what probably gave it to the decision it was. It allowed Parker to come back at times. Did you watch it?
I did, yeah. Actually, I did watch it. He was, I thought he was really good in the fight. Lots of pressure, lots of power. Yeah. But yeah, he started to tire out. Even Parker, he had some good moments. I felt like he could have finished him in one of the rounds, but he kind of held back.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see, I don't know if I want to see the rematch, but I'd like to see Parker against some other top guys again.
This Joseph Parker beat Andrew Ruiz.
He did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
That's Ruiz's first loss.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, he's it's a competitive heavyweight division right now, and let's hope Tyson Fury and Joshua find out who's better, right?
Well, actually fight, yeah. At least
fight. Not even find out who's better. Yeah.
There isn't even a date set yet, so.
No, they keep saying there's $150 million on the table by the Saudis or something, and Abu Dhabi, but who knows, and how are they going to split it? There's so many complications, I think, and hopefully, they just get it on and let's get it going.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you catch? You caught most of the card too, right? Today in Dallas.
Yeah. Figueroa and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you? Berlanga, we watched him fight last time, or was it not Berlanga?
No,
sorry, that's
Fandora.
The tall, yeah, we saw him fight last time, right?
Yeah, we did. What I find weird about Fandora is he fights on the inside, yet he should be on the outside, keeping the guy at range.
I was gonna ask you that. Yeah.
What?
I was gonna ask you that. How do you feel about his fighting? A guy like
weird,
that.
Like. He's a strong guy, but he's got really good uppercuts, right?
Yeah.
He gets good leverage on him, so that's probably why he fights the style he fights. But you would think he just want to keep the guy at bay at long range and let him come to him. But it's almost like he's giving his opponents the advantage by fighting inside. And if he fights a guy that can punch, I think he's going to have trouble.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So if you're a tall guy like that, how do you beat a guy like that if you're to fight?
Yeah.
Dora?
How do you figure that out? You'd want to, he just smothers everything. So he smothers his opponent, so it's hard for them to even land body shots. Because to land a body shot, you don't necessarily need to be far away. For a straight right hand, you sort of have to have some distance. But for the hooks, these guys should be going to his body a lot more than, this Kuto guy was going headhunting the whole time. Coda, he was headhunting the whole time. He should have been going to his body a bit more, maybe. But it's easier to say when you're outside the ring, right? Because when the guy's smothering you like that, you're just trying to get in what you can.
Yeah, he was going at him too. You notice that? He
run
right straight into the middle of the ring.
Yeah, totally. And I think the fight was stopped prematurely. Kota was just finished landing a punch, and then the referee stepped in and stopped it. I know he was taking a lot of shots, and his feet was getting busted up, but I think they should have allowed it to go just a little bit longer. Whether it would have been a difference, I'm not sure, but at some point, this Fandora is going to have to dig deep and go later rounds, right?
Yeah, well, he's gonna. He hasn't fought any top guys yet, has he?
Not that I know of.
No, I think he's still in the top 10. So
yeah,
he's exciting. He's the tallest guy that's ever been in that division. Yeah, so I think the Charlo brothers, they're about 6 feet.
Yeah, I know. They're going to have trouble looking up on that for that guy.
They
But,
got good movement though.
yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the Charlos would beat a Fandora, but I mean, it's only getting them both in the ring because it's such a unique style, and you can't really train like they were talking about. Coda fight, it's training for the fight, but he's sparring with 6'3", 6'4" heavyweights,
Yeah,
not super welterweights, right?
yeah,
So
that's
it's
crazy.
tough. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it's funny because literally Lennox Lewis was saying, he's like,
Yes.
Fandora should just back up.
Yeah,
He's
at range.
if he just backed up, he could actually finish this a lot faster, right? So
Yeah, I think Lennox was right on that too. And I mean, he's very. I think his most of Lennox's comments are spot on. Really, I mean,
Yeah.
he knows the game, he understands the game, and I think they play really well together with him and who's the
Ryan
Sean
Kenny?
Porter and
I think
Ryan Kenny and Sean
Yeah.
Porter. Yeah, they're good. They're a good team.
yeah, I like them actually. That was actually really good commentating.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the DAZN commentating was really good too. Sky Sports.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I really liked it. There was also there was a lot of good fights. You should check that out. I would check that out
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, for sure.
really-
And I mean, the main event, for the hype that it had, it really came through because it was a competitive match, and
Andy Ruiz and
yeah,
Arreola.
then Andy Ruiz.
I wanted to bring up first before that the Figueroa versus who did he fight again?
he fought,
Ramos, Abel Ramos.
Abel Ramos. Yeah,
What do you make of that style?
weird style Figueroa has. He keeps switching to southpaw to orthodox.
Kind of doing this,
Yeah,
right?
but
Like a
always the
lot
same.
of yeah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but always the same movements, and Lennox picked up on that. Like all he's
Yeah.
doing is tick-tocking the whole time, so you can predict what he's going to do, and that's what Ramos took him 2 or 3 rounds, and then he was predicting where his head was going to be, and that's where he was throwing his shots. He wasn't throwing the shots where his head was. He was throwing the shots where his head was going to be because it was predictable.
Yeah.
'Cause he was always going the same thing. It was always side to side instead of pulling, rolling, coming. Like you don't want to give your opponent the same picture every day, every time, right?
Yeah.
That was one of the downfalls of that, but you got to give it to him too. Figueroa is a tough guy, man. He took a lot of shots from that Ramos.
Took a lot of shots.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that was a really good call to not let him
Stop
back.
it. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, it's almost Ramos did a really good job of predicting his timing too. It's almost
yeah.
like he just figured it out. It's like, oh, you're gonna go that way.
Yeah.
Shot. He just knew exactly where he would be.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I know. It's so. He was very good at predicting it because he was just reading the same page of the same book the whole night.
Yeah.
It didn't change, right? So that's why in boxing you got to be able to do a Floyd Mayweather and not do the same thing over and over again. Once he got hit by that Shane Mosley right hand,
Yeah.
never again was he open for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was wondering because, I mean, like that technique could possibly work.
Yeah.
Got to be more offensive.
Yeah, but when you're coming in and then let your hands go as soon as you miss a punch, whereas Figueroa wasn't doing it. Like he was missing punches, and it was almost like he was so happy he was missing punches, but he wasn't countering back and making the guy pay. So after doing that for a few rounds, well, then Ramos just said, well, I'm just going to throw where he's going to be.
And do you think that with that style moving around like that, your footwork starts to go all over the place? Did you notice him move around?
Yeah,
a
and
little
you
bit?
cross your feet sometimes, and you're not on balance. And he looked off balance a couple times.
Yeah.
I think it kind of detracted from his abilities to do what he could do, right? And that's why it's always been discouraged to switch from southpaw to orthodox because it messes you up more than it messes your opponent up a lot of times because then you gotta balance yourself on the different stance, right?
Yeah.
And you can't practice the same stance like all the time, and usually guys will perfect either an orthodox or a southpaw stance, and they can't really switch on it, and that's why you normally don't see great fighters changing up like that, right? The only ones, some great ones that did change up, but they didn't change up during the fight was they started it like an orthodox or a southpaw stance, like a Marvin Hagler, like when he switched up on I think he fought Sugar Ray Leonard and he fought totally just in the orthodox stance, but he should have fought him southpaw maybe. Who knows?
Okay.
Yeah.
How about Terrence Crawford's actually known for his switch hitting as well.
Yeah, he switches up, but he doesn't do it as often as Figueroa was doing it. Like he'll do it at the odd time, but he doesn't. He picks his spots more than Figueroa was. It was just the whole time he was kind of switching up all the time, man. It was
it was really
weird.
weird. It was a really weird style. I mean, I feel like when Terrence does it, he let's say he starts in orthodox, couple rounds, and then he'll come in the next third round in southpaw, and then he'll just switch it up from there. But he won't ever go southpaw, then all of a sudden go into orthodox, right?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't usually do that. He kind of gives it time to set in, right?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
Yeah, no, well, good stoppage. I hope Figueroa's okay.
Yeah, there was actually, that fight reminded me, last night there was some boxing in Richmond. They had a show, like a pay-per-view sort of show at one of at the studio out in there in Coquitlam, or at Richmond, and there was one fight, a guy from Surrey, a guy named Bisla. Benit Bisla, he stopped a guy from Ontario named Thomas. I forget Thomas's last name, but it was very similar to that. Thomas was doing kind of strange things like that, and Bisla finally caught him with like either a right hand or a right uppercut, and the guy was out pretty much. And then it was good that the referee stopped it, so that reminded me a lot of the Figueroa match.
Was that a professional fight?
Yeah, there was a professional card. So Vancouver's had 2 professional cards in 2 weekends in a row. Last weekend it was in North Vancouver. A company from Ontario came out. A guy named Daniel Otter came out to do a show, and then last night was a guy named another Daniel. Forget Daniel's last name now, but yeah, his company put on a card in Richmond, and it was really competitive matches. There were 6 bouts, and they were all really competitive, and it was a good night of boxing.
Nice. Oh, how did your match go? So Jacob.
Well, last weekend, my boxer that I train, Jacob George, he won via first round knockout. So I was really happy, and he's southpaw, right? So, he kind of caught the guy with a left hand, and then he stayed on him, and they got these tiny little 8-ounce gloves on, because 147 and under, you use 8-ounce gloves. So those are puncher gloves, man, and he finished him off. He was. I was really proud of Jacob, and hopefully he'll get another opportunity, because on June 26th there's going to be another card in North Vancouver, and
really,
and then these people, this promotion company that is doing another show in Richmond as well in July. So I think hopefully boxing might get a little boost here.
Yeah, why not, man? That's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
Looks like Ontario is not really able to put on shows right now, right? Yeah,
because Ontario has a rule where any outside people have to quarantine for 14 days, where they don't have that rule here in BC. So that's why the Ontario promoter came to BC, so not all the boxers would have to quarantine for the 14 days prior to the match. Mm-hmm. So the regulations are a little more lax, but they still make them test for COVID and all, and there was no outbreaks from last weekend that I heard of, and I'm sure there's going to be no outbreaks from this weekend, because it's very close, right? As soon as the boxers finish, they have to leave the venue, so there's very few people even in the place, right?
Oh, wow.
So it was good.
That's awesome.
I got to practice how to do cuts, because I was a cut man for the whole show. So
no way!
I had to stop a couple cuts. Like a guy named Sharn Archer from Alberta had a cut in the center of his head here, and I was able to stop the cut. And then another guy named Ari had a cut over his right eye, and I was able to stop that cut. So I got some practice.
Yeah, how do you do that with Vaseline?
I use mostly just adrenaline. I mix it with some stuff, but it's mostly adrenaline 1/1000. Yeah. And I get a swab, and I put some cotton around it to be able to soak up, and then just pressure and adrenaline, and does it. And then you put a little Vaseline over it, and I mix the adrenaline in with the Vaseline, and I put it over, and the cut it stayed closed. It was amazing. I was pretty surprised myself.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
So you got to be a little cut man.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. So
you're one of your fighters from back in the day, Robert Cousins. Remember him?
Yes, of course.
He was commentating last weekend or yesterday, I believe. Yeah, he was the color commentator for the fights.
Oh, at the Richmond show?
Yeah.
Oh, he was. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
I didn't see him, actually. I didn't see him there, so, yeah. Must have snuck in.
Is he still compete?
I think he has not boxed for not during the pandemic he hasn't boxed. I'm not sure what his intentions are, but... he hasn't boxed at least for a couple of years, though. I know that.
Cool hands. That's what you called him.
Yeah, I think that's what he calls them. So, yeah, Coolhands cousins.
Yeah. Coolhands cousins.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was
All
good.
right.
It was good. So the main event, eh?
Main event. Yeah. That was incredible. Actually, a lot more competitive than I thought it would be.
Exactly. I thought Ruiz was going to walk through Arreola because I don't know when the last time I saw Arreola box. Do you remember? Do you know when the last time he boxed was?
I don't know, but he's fought Vitaly Klitschko, who's been retired for how long?
Yeah, he has. But
the last time I can't remember Arthur Spilka or.
Do you think that's who he fought last?
And he fought Deontay as well. So he's
he's fought a lot of good guys. Chris, I'm gonna look him up right now. Chris Arreola. I don't think he's fought for a while, man.
Yeah, no, it's
because I know Ruiz. It's been since December 2019, so it's been close to a year and a half that he fought. So
it's the same. August 3rd, 2019 for.
Oh, okay,
Arreola.
so same, a year and a half.
Yeah, about the same.
Oh yeah.
I was well, anyways, I'll ask you. What did you think of Ruiz's performance tonight?
I thought it was good. I mean, he's got super fast hands and everything. The only thing I thought was like Chris Arreola was really smart in making Ruiz come to him. He let him come to him, like in the first and second round. Like when he knocked him down in the second. Was it the second or third round that he knocked him down? Second round. Yeah, the second round he hit him in that temple shot.
Yeah.
But see, Ruiz was letting, or not Ruiz, Arreola was letting Ruiz come in, right? So he was waiting to time him on that, and he did. And then Ruiz had to get trickier. So after that, he started using some fakes, instead of coming straight in and just walking in, He was using fakes, so then Arreola couldn't time him. So he was able to time him. I believe that's why he caught him with that right hand. And then Ruiz, even in the third round, he got caught with, I think, a left hook. And it buckled him. Did you see his knees buckle? Like, he just about touched the ground. That was almost another knockdown. And I thought he won that round because of that. Arreola won the third round as well. So
I did too.
How can those judges only give him like that one round that he knocked them down, the 2-point round?
That's crazy.
The judges, it was a bad decision in that respect. But Ruiz is smart. He started using some fakes and he wasn't going at him as much. He was waiting his time, and because I think Arreola was baiting him to come, right? He was giving him some. At the beginning, he was giving him some confidence. Oh yeah, I'm a 40-year-old, I can't really do much. But then when he got close enough, he clipped him with that right hand to the temple, and it changed.
Yeah.
But you got to give it to Ruiz because he's got some recuperative superpowers, just like he had when he fought Anthony Joshua, because Joshua dropped him early in the fight too, I think.
Yeah.
First fight, yeah.
In the first fight, that's correct. And then he ended up coming back and dropping him after.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I know, knocked him out, in the 8th round or something like that?
Yeah, 8th round.
Yeah. So, I mean, these are heavyweights, man. They're solid heavyweights. They're, like Ruiz, he's a slim down 250-plus guy, and Arreola is like 228, so they're big men. And, they can hit for that weight too, right? So
100%.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting what happens. I think, they're all talking about they wanting a rematch, so maybe that will happen, but I don't think much will change because
I think it'll be better for Ruiz. Yeah.
I agree with you too, because Ruiz is just getting used to Eddie Reynoso's training maybe, and things don't happen overnight. And and Arreola, they caught on to his game plan is just to sit him out and wait for him to come, Yeah. Ruiz will be smarter to not be predictable in that respect. And, he's got super fast hands for heavyweight. That's all I can say. Like those that jab, right hand, and hook, like, man, it comes boom, boom, boom. Like it's blinding fast. Yeah, and then when he throws the right hand to the body, really nice too. I don't know if you noticed those a few times, eh?
Oh, no, I noticed. He's got really quick hands. He kept going to the body and then up top as well, right?
Yeah, he did. He mixed it up.
And a lot of jabs to the body as well he was doing.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, just to throw Arreola off, because Arreola was, like I said, I think he was just waiting to catch him coming in, which he did catch him in the second round. But after that, even though he caught him with a left hook, I think when Ruiz was sort of pulling out,
Yeah.
with his hands low. But after that, it was mostly compact, and they showed a lot of respect for each other too. Because remember when Ruiz hit him in the shoulder, and then he was shaking his shoulder out. Like Ruiz didn't jump on him. Like a lot of guys would have just jumped on him if he saw him shaking his shoulder like that. So
Totally.
I think they had a lot of respect for each other, which was nice to see.
Yeah, it was. And what do you make of that shoulder injury? You think it was?
I mean, I think it might have just hurt it like the joint.
Yeah.
And he said himself, I think, in the corner that it's messed up or something. When the referee came, he said, it's fine. And then as the referee was walking away, he said it's messed up to Goosen.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny, Goosen, the trainer, like he's not even geared to be a trainer.
He was wearing like a white denim jacket.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird. I thought
it was the most stylish trainer I've ever seen.
Yeah. He's here to make a GQ statement instead of being a trainer, right? But I think he did give him a good game plan. The game plan, I believe, was to box smart, like you were saying in the last round. Box smart but aggressive.
Yeah.
So boxing smart means don't go at him wild. Just, you bide your time. Let him come. Let him crack him.
Yeah.
And he did that really, really well.
Yeah, I was really worried for Ruiz in that third round after. Because
I know.
Obviously got dropped in the second, and then it looked like he was kind of...
He was hurt, man.
He was.
He just about hit the canvas on that.
That
hook. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he took some major shots.
That's what I mean. He's got amazing superhuman recuperative powers that Ruiz does. It's just like a ever-ready battery, Like it's almost looks like it's dying, and all of a sudden it gets steam again.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. What do you make of Andy Ruiz now? Is he a threat in the division, you think?
Oh, yeah, he's got to be a threat. A guy that, 6'2", 250 pounds like that, and he's got hands like that, and he can take a punch like he can. Like, taking a punch from Arreola, who's a decent puncher, says a lot, and he's always going to be a threat in that division.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting how it all spans out, because now what I'm hearing is that if this Joshua, I'm sure you've heard the same thing. If Tyson they don't make that fight, it's going to be Tyson against Deontay Wilder in the third rematch.
Oh yeah.
So if that happens,
and then Usyk versus Joshua.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. And then the winners of that do it. But maybe Andy Ruiz gets in there and gets a third try at Joshua. Who knows, right? It depends.
I would like to see Ruiz versus Wilder.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think
that's the way Ruiz took that right hand from Arreola. See, I don't think he'd get away from Wilder if he gets hurt like that. No. Wilder's such a finisher, man, but it could be wrong. Maybe
he's very fast, Wilder. He doesn't get enough credit for his speed.
Yeah. And his accuracy, like he goes wild. He goes wild, but he's accurate with those wild punches. Because once he gets a guy hurt, he's such a finisher.
Yeah,
probably one of the best in history, I think.
Easily.
But he's got to get the guys hurt, and Ruiz might be a bit too smart for Deontay Wilder. He might try to muscle him up just like Tyson did, but he's not as tall as Tyson Fury or as big as Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is just a big man that can push Deontay Wilder in his back heel and can't get any power from it.
Yeah, I think Tyson was saying that he thinks Deontay's a little too fast or skilled for Ruiz. Yeah.
Could be. Well, I don't know about skill, but he's fast. He's got a fast, accurate right hand that can't miss, and then he goes wild with everything else. Once he gets you hurt, then he does this wild thing, and you don't see the punches coming from the outside. They come from the outside, and all of a sudden they're clipping you. But so there's a lot of live bodies in the heavyweight division right now that anyone can come out on top. I think. Like look at those guys. Like even Joseph Parker after tonight might be in the mix too. And
definitely. And
there's Ruiz, Arreola. Who knows? He hasn't fought for all. He's still 40. He didn't look 40.
Yeah.
And you got Deontay Wilder, you got Anthony Joshua, you got Tyson Fury. You got a handful of guys there. Anyone can come out on top. I think the cream of the crop is Tyson Fury, but time will tell, and a lot of it has to do with his own self because you don't know what he's doing. Like how distracted he could be. You know, like I've seen him on YouTube quite a bit with the next weekend's fight with the guy fighting Canelo.
Billy Joe.
Billy Joe. Yeah, they've been talking a lot and saying things, and it's interesting to watch. Though I mean, that's going to be a great match next weekend too. I can't wait.
I'm looking forward for that one too. Actually,
Again, I don't think Billy Joe's got really a chance, but he might pose a bit of a threat at the beginning of the match, like at the beginning, you know. But I think Canelo will get to him eventually with his style.
I just think I like Billy Joe. I think he's very clean. I think he's got a lot of good movement, but it's just tricky. The power. It's just the power. Canelo just has so much power. He's relentless, right? Yeah,
he generates so much, like the way he twists into everything, and everything's a bomb, man. Even a jab.
Exactly, right? And he's got good footwork.
And good defense.
Yeah, so it's like he's got a lot of good things, right? So
he's a well-rounded guy, right?
Yeah, man. He's really good. Yeah. Also, you know another boxer wasn't mentioned, Dillian White.
Yeah, Dillian White in the heavyweights. That guy can punch like
who man. He could fight Ruiz. He also wants to fight Wilder as well. Yeah. He's got some power.
He just fought someone just recently.
Yeah, he fought Povetkin.
Oh yeah,
and he just knocked him out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Povetkin looked kind of rough around the edges because apparently he had COVID about 6 weeks earlier.
Oh, no way.
That's what I had heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, he didn't look right. Like even when he got into the ring, he looked like he was kind of stumbling around.
Oh no.
Povetkin did. Like Povetkin didn't look right. He just didn't look right all night. And I mean, Povetkin's he was a great fighter, Olympic gold medalist and all. Mm-hmm. He could crack.
He's got some experience. Actually, he knocked out White before that too. So
that's right. He knocked him out with one shot. I remember, right?
That uppercut. Did you see that?
That's right, on the ropes. I think.
Holy smokes! Yeah, it just folded him.
And he was losing the fight too. I think.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, even how about King Kong Ortiz?
Yeah, he was in there. Did you see him in the audience?
Yeah, I did. He was beating Wilder as well.
Yeah, he was. But
until Wilder landed that bomb.
Yeah. And how old is Ortiz, right?
He's old.
50, right?
Yeah, he's
so
old.
I think he's way past.
I honestly don't think Arreola and Ruiz should happen again.
Probably not, because it's been determined. Even though it wasn't like a blowout 10 rounds to or 11 rounds to 1, it wasn't like that. It was maybe like a 8 rounds to 4 type fight, you know?
Yeah.
But it was a competitive, somewhat close to one-sided fight. It was competitive, but it wasn't. But it wasn't that close that it should be a rematch. And after the third round, Ruiz was not in trouble whatsoever. So.
No, he was just flowing and mixing it up nicely.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you notice anything new from him, like in terms of training with Reynoso?
Not really, but. His body type, he's not as blubbery.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But, I mean, that's one thing, the look. But in terms of... He was throwing some decent fakes. Like, I think, especially after he got knocked down there, he was throwing more feints. And that's what Canelo does as well, too, right?
Yeah.
He's very good at feinting, whereas I don't think Ruiz even threw a fake before this. And that was a good thing. And... he does this a lot. Like, did you ever see him, like, he sort of just paws out his right hand and he comes back with a quick 1-2?
Yeah.
That's sort of a Canelo move, too, right? Like, he paws out the right hand and then comes right back with the jab.
That's the fake overhand, and he does the uppercut.
Yeah. Sort of like
does.
that. Yeah, that's right. And I think I saw that coming from Ruiz a couple of times as well. So those were newer things that I saw, but, nothing. I mean, the thing is, if a guy had been training a certain way for 20 years, like a couple months isn't going to change the guy.
Yeah, 100%.
Can't happen.
No,
but there was a couple of slight adjustments, and I think he's going to just keep learning from it. I also think he was sneaking his front foot in a little bit too. Like he was doing it, but he wasn't keeping his body back. He was leaning his body forward. You got to keep your body back when you sneak your front foot in to get the distance and. He'll learn how to do that a little bit better too, because you'll watch Canelo do that. Like he'll keep his body back, sneak his front foot in, and then he's within range, right, without the guy even knowing he's there. Yeah, and that was a move that he picked up from Floyd.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Master Floyd.
Yeah.
You see Floyd? He's going to take on Logan Paul now.
Logan Paul. I know that's a joke for boxing, unfortunately, though, because like it's a sideshow, and I hope it doesn't sell like they're hoping it to be, right? Because it's got to come to an end. It's got to come to an end. All this, and even like Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson, the rumor now. But although they didn't even talk about it tonight, but it was on the net earlier in the week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually gave Lennox a call, but I didn't realize he was out of town or whatever. But he didn't answer anyway, but maybe I'll get to talk to him next week. But it'll be kind of interesting to see if he has anything to say about that.
Well, man, we should get him on the show.
Yeah, we should. But,
yeah, I would love to talk to him.
He's a busy guy, I guess.
Very busy, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
No, but what was I going to bring up? The Logan Paul thing. So Tyson was talking about how that, because everyone's saying, oh, this is a joke to boxing and whatever, right? It's like, well, if anything, boxing can be the joke right now, right? What Tyson was saying, because most fighters aren't fighting, right? You got Tyson Fury, Joshua's not
on the sidelines, yeah.
Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, right?
Yeah.
Canelo, all the fighters that he hasn't fought yet, right? So
so he's got a point there, Tyson does.
Yeah.
At the same token, you don't want to bring. I don't feel that the sport should be brought down by sideshows like that. Like they're circus acts, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not. They're not. And people are starting to believe that Logan and his brother, I forget his brother's name, Jake Paul, are actually like. They're talking. Oh, Jake is a world ranked light heavyweight and stuff like. Give me a break. Like any top 100 light heavyweight, cruiserweight would knock that guy out. Like knock him into next year, right? Like there's no way. People can actually believe, or boxing people, can't even believe that because he's never boxed anybody. Sure enough, he's had 3 matches and the last guy.
Well, Ben Askren, a basketball player, and a YouTuber. Yeah. Those are the 3 guys he's beaten.
Yeah, so they're not boxers.
No.
And the boxers are different when you got the distance involved and how to turn a punch over and things. And no, he's not even close to being a world rank guy. And
he was at the UFC event and he was getting booed and everything. Jake Paul. Yeah, and one of the commentators, DC, Daniel Cormier.
Yeah,
I guess he's been talking about. Whatever, like this guy's
talking about fighting him, right?
Yeah, or something. And then he's like, "Oh, I got to get off the camera. 1 sec, guys. 1 sec." And he went and talked to Jake Paul's like, "Keep my name out your mouth," or something. There's like camera footage and everything. It was pretty hilarious.
So everyone's trying to cash in, right? They want to be the.
I think everybody wants. People want to see him get his ass kicked.
Yeah, they do, but Daniel Cormier ain't gonna do it.
No, he's not gonna do it.
It's got to be someone like just a fringe contender, a fringe world rank contender will knock him out, guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, even that guy that they got to fight, Frank Mir, he's around his weight, 200-pounder.
Steve Cunningham.
Yeah, Stephen Cunningham. Put Cunningham in there with him. Cunningham would kill him.
Yeah, I bet he would.
And he's old.
Yeah, maybe Frank Mir would beat him.
Maybe Frank Mir, that'd be interesting.
I thought he did really well in that.
I thought he did well too, actually. I think, that'd be kind of interesting. But Frank Mir would outweigh Paul by like 80 pounds or something. Okay?
Yeah.
275 or something, or 265?
Yeah, he would just push him around. That wouldn't work.
No, but it would work because it'd shut him up. That's what people want. Like that's how Floyd made his platform too, is people wanted, most people went there to paid the pay-per-view to see him lose. And you got to remember too, Muhammad Ali in the 60s, he was not popular because he didn't want to go to the Vietnam War, and everybody hated him.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were paying for him to lose, not see him win. It's not until later in the 70s and 80s that everyone realized, well, Ali was right about Vietnam. Why were we there?
Yeah.
And everything else, right? So it wasn't like that when he was in his prime.
No, right?
No. And it's too bad he lost 3 years of his prime boxing, because 3 years he was basically in prison for part of it.
Oh, yeah.
And he was also, they took his boxing license away for like 3 years.
I should read his book. I have his book right now. And that's interesting, actually, to think about, that he lost 3 years. Who knows what he could have accomplished? More records.
Exactly. If that wasn't around, he would have, and they probably wouldn't have lost it because he fought Joe Frazier after that exile.
Yeah.
And, he would have been a lot sharper Had
Is that when he lost?
Yeah, after he never lost before the Vietnam War thing.
Oh wow, yes. Look at that. Yeah. Damn, I gotta get my history right.
I think Ali came back and he fought Jerry Quarry or something in his first comeback fight, so it wasn't too tough. And then he may have fought one other match, and then he fought Joe Frazier, and then that's when Joe Frazier knocked him down and won a decision.
Yeah.
But then Ali beat Joe Frazier in the 2 subsequent fights.
Right. Thrilla and Manila.
Thrilla and Manila,
yeah. Right on.
Amazing, man.
No, it was a pretty good fight actually.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. A little weird boxing from what's that guy's name? Figueroa.
Yeah, strange style, but that's what I mean. Like you got, there's a lot of guys that have like this. Billy Joe Saunders has a real strange style too. You'll see when next weekend he's got a strange style, and there's guys that get away with it. Like Rocky Marciano even had kind of a strange style. He wasn't, like he just had power in both hands, but he could swing from the hills, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes that's a benefit to guys as well because they don't see the same picture all the time. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No, that's
and Tyson Fury, he's got an awkward style, like he baits people, he pulls back, and he does this and that.
Yeah.
And Tyson Fury doesn't have a conventional style.
He's got really good movement, though. Hey.
He's got amazing movement.
Yeah, for his size too.
Oh yeah. For a 6'8" guy like that big, he's just smooth.
Yeah, man.
Smooth as silk, man. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Yeah, it'll be good when him and Joshua fight.
I hope it happens, man. They were talking about July.
It's gotta happen. It's gotta happen. It's gotta happen.
For boxing, it's gotta happen.
They need this. This needs to happen.
And the money's there. Like, how much can they want to have, right? Like,
I don't think it's money. I don't even. What is it? What is the problem?
I don't know. I don't even know what the problem is. It's Eddie Hearn or it's the promotion, or maybe they're just baiting the public to talk about it more like we're talking about it, so that it's even bigger than it would have been,
Yeah, totally.
So let's cross our fingers and hope it works out.
Totally. Yeah, awesome. Man. Well, I think
that's a wrap.
Jerry Tremble. Yeah, Jerry Tremble's a bad motherfucker.
Golden Boy. That's what they call Atlanta's Jerry Tremble.
He hails from Vancouver, British Columbia.